Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We have a whole lot of news for you on this show. And we thank those who have been watching us and those who have been subscribing. Our numbers are going up. We are getting a lot more viewers. But we're telling you, don't just view the show, subscribe. We get over 80% of the people who watch this show are not subscribing. Those are the numbers. A lot of you watch us, but you are not subscribing. So please, subscribe. When you subscribe, you make it easy to receive new videos. Every week when we upload a new video, you get it right away because you are a subscriber. What is preventing you from subscribing? Tell us. Over 80% of you are watching us, but you are not subscribing. What is holding you back? Tell us the problem. Are you afraid of being a subscriber? What is your fear about? Well, we should tell you this. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear makes a coward of us all. So if you are afraid, just like we say in Julius Caesar, cowards die many times before their death. And that's what happens to people who are afraid. Cowards. You die many times before your real death. Every time you are afraid, you die. Every day you are afraid, you die. How many times do you have to die before your real death comes? Be courageous. This is what this show is about. What is the news cycle in Africa today? A whole lot of news is breaking out. For the most part, most people are consumed by Trump tariffs. Trump tariffs and Trump travel bans. The tariffs are a big problem. Some of you may say, what is a tariff? Well, when I studied economics, my professor taught me that a tariff is a tax imposed by a country on imported services and goods. A tax is a levy imposed by an authority on its subjects. So a tariff is a form of taxation. Recently, Donald Trump has been talking a lot about tariffs, imposing tariffs on other countries. Why are tariffs popular during the Trump era? Well, Trump is not the first guy to really talk about tariffs. In the ancient days, we've had tariffs, especially before the advent of mercantilism in Britain. Countries had colonies. So they imposed tariffs. They made sure that they traded just with their colonies. Tariffs were popular then. When you impose tariffs on your competitor, their goods become expensive and you have a monopoly. But the world started changing, especially when Adam Smith came in England, a Scotsman. He came up with a book, The Wealth of Nations, laissez-faire. With the Wealth of Nations, he came up with a law of competitive advantage, which stated that if you're a country, focus on what you do best, then buy whatever you don't have from other countries. So this promotes free trade and international trade. With tariffs, this whole concept is turned upside down. Okay? And that's what the Trump administration has done with the announcement and implementation of tariffs on neighbors and adversaries alike. So basically, Ronald Reagan has only come swinging. We have a video of Ronald Reagan when he talks about tariffs. Already, some of you are feeling the impact of the tariffs that Trump is threatening and imposing. Mexico, Canada, China. But why not impose tariffs on Russia? Well, some people are saying that it's because Donald Trump is a puppet of Russia, is a Russian spy. But Americans voted for him. So it's America's problem. If you think Donald Trump is a spy and you voted for him, who do you want to blame? But tariffs are going to cause a lot of serious consequences. Americans are already feeling the pain of tariffs. Already, the consequence of tariffs are higher prices of goods. If, for example, a good costs $10 to import this stuff from China to America, if you impose tariffs of 100%, the price of that good doubles. So tariffs make the price of goods more expensive. Tariffs make the price of services more expensive. In economics, we have two types of tariffs. We have tariffs that are based on fixed or specific prices, and we have what we call ad valorem tariffs, which are based on the value of the product. You can say we increase it by 5% of the value of this product, 5% of the value of this service. So you have essentially two types of tariffs in economics. Okay? I'm not going to take you much into economic theory, but I'm telling you that these tariffs are creating a lot of problems. Why is Donald Trump imposing tariffs on most of these countries? One, it's a way to bully foreign countries into submission to do Trump's will and Trump's bidding. That's the most obvious reason for imposing these tariffs. What's the second reason? Well, there is globalization, and America has to contend with the impact of globalization. Donald Trump cannot shield Americans from the impact of globalization. Globalization means the world has become a globe. It means labor is moving freely across the whole world. If America cannot draw attention to expensive brains, China will buy those brains. Britain will buy those brains. So labor now becomes a commodity that moves freely in the economic space. It is attracted where there is fair market for its value. Okay? That's what happens in this circumstance. But Donald Trump is thinking that by using tariffs, he may be able to protect American goods from foreign competitors. That's not going to happen. Because when America slaps Canada with tariffs, for example, Canada retaliates. So it begins a cycle of a trade war. But the trade war is not the only problem. When America slaps China with tariffs, China retaliates threefold. China imposes tariffs on American products also. So those products become very expensive in the Chinese market. The effect is the American producers are suffering because their goods are very, very expensive, which is why sometimes in economics, countries deal with what they call devaluation. They devalue a currency to make the price of those goods attractive to importers. But when you have tariffs, you are revaluing your currency, you're making it more expensive for people to buy your products and services. The consequence, the economic impact is big. You look at the American economy, already the consumers are jittery. They are losing confidence. The stock market is collapsing. I'm even thinking of the Great Depression of the 1930s. We may get to that when I look at the signs. Things are getting bad. Workers are losing their jobs every day. Most of them said, well, we voted for Donald Trump because he promised us we'll have better jobs. Where are the better jobs? Every day I listen to people complaining. People are afraid. They're about to lose their jobs. They're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're living with the fear of losing their jobs. So what is going to give? A lot is going to give. Mexico is retaliating. So the days when America could bully other nations are over. Okay? America is trying to bully some of these nations into submission. What they are doing, they are creating new alliances. Now they are saying America is not a good friend. We can make friends with other countries. If we cannot get what we want from America, maybe we can get it from China. So there's a form of realignment. That's what is happening now in the marketplace. People are saying, okay, to hell with America. America is deporting us, and talking about deportation, a lot of people are being deported from the United States. So most of these people are saying, maybe it's time we start forgetting about America, we start building our country, ourselves, and have a better place to live. Then Americans will come back calling us to return, and we'll tell them, hell no, we're going to stay in Africa and build the new Africa. Because even this week, we saw a lot of people being deported. Cameroonians, for example, were deported. Some went to Panama. These are people who ran away from Paul Biya's dictatorship. They are sending them back home, but they choose to go elsewhere. Okay? So when we look at the news, travel ban, Trump is about to announce three types of travel bans. The color red, the color yellow, and the orange color. So you're going to have three types of bans. Complete ban to some countries, like Libya. Then you have the orange ban, which may say, okay, we have visa restrictions. Then you have a 60-day ban to countries like Cameroon and others. So these are the big news stories, the travel ban. So what are we going to do? Well, in Ambazonia, the story remains the same. Some of you think that we've forgotten Ambazonia. No, there's news about Ambazonia. The revolution is not dead. It is changing. In Biya Bui division, the Ambazonia Restoration Forces ambushed and killed Biya's thugs. That was the big news in Ambazonia. Then, of course, the case of Dr. Lucas Ayabacho is ongoing in Norway, and we are following attentively what is happening. We are not here to comment. We are waiting for the right moment to gather enough material. Then we'll do a major story on what is happening. Some of you have sent us stories about Castel as one of the sponsors of the enemies of Dr. Lucas Ayabacho, but we are waiting to get enough evidence. We don't want to accuse Castel of bribing the Norwegians to keep Dr. Ayabacho in custody. We're going to wait until we get further evidence. Some of you have sent us a lot of information. We've not vetted this information yet, so we cannot blame Castel. So we're holding everything. We're not going to blame Castel yet. But we're saying the revolution in Ambazonia is not dead. So if Biya and his people are fighting 2025 in October, they should know that the revolution is not dead. And what's happening? Cameroon is one of the major countries cited for the travel ban. So Cameroon is being affected. But that's not all. Apolla Tanganji has been locking up guys, shutting down churches. It is having a lot of effects in the country. And of course, people are paying attention to all of this. Then the BAS, Brigade Anti-Sardina, which is the main opposition abroad. They are not a political party, they are a movement which is against the Paul Biya regime. They are based in France and Europe. And they have been protesting this week. They made a lot of news, and people started talking about the founding of BAS, and you remember Cabral Libro, right? But I think we have a new guy now who has taken over. But BAS, Brigade Anti-Sardina, is waving strong. Okay? Are they a political party? They are not a political party. Are they going to have an influence on Cameroon elections in October? Certainly, we think they're going to have some influence. But as we know, the dictatorship of Paul Biya always wins the election. So things are not going to change. So people like Maurice Kamto are going to be running for office, but they should be ready to lose again because Paul Biya is not ready to go. Paul Biya wants to run again. Vive Paul Biya, vive Paul Biya. Okay? But of course, we take you to Burkina Faso.
At Ayuk Tax Service, we understand taxes can be overwhelming. That's why we've been serving taxpayers and tax preparers nationwide since 1986. Why wait for your money? We guarantee fair and accurate tax returns with experienced professionals you can trust. We offer a range of services, including accounting, bookkeeping, and recording, payroll, insurance, and real estate, corporate and individual income tax preparation, tax planning and preparation. Are you a tax preparer or entrepreneur looking to boost your income? Partner with Ayuk Tax Service for a free, fast, and easy way to grow your business. Ayuk Tax Service is the ideal partner for check cashing stores, travel agencies, realtors, loan officers, and grocery stores. Facing IRS tax problems? Let Ayuk Tax Service provide expert assistance to resolve any issues quickly and efficiently. With over 3 decades of experience, Ayuk Tax Service has been trusted by clients nationwide. We are committed to delivering exceptional service and ensuring bigger refunds. We make tax preparation seamless for businesses like yours. Don't wait, get your fair share with Ayuk Tax Service. Contact us today and let us handle your taxes with care. Learn more at www.ayuktax.com. Visit one of our convenient office locations or call us today. Our offices are located in Maryland and Virginia. Ayuk Tax Service. Bigger refunds. Better service.
Burkina Faso is still dealing with the problem of jihadists, and Ibrahim Traoré is doing his best. We applaud him. Ibrahim Traoré is getting a whole lot of high fives everywhere he goes. We're just worried that people may want to take him out, especially foreign leaders who are jealous of him. So let's be careful. But the big story has to do with Congo DRC. We understand the M23 has gotten what it wants. Finally, the M23 is forcing the government of Felix Tshisekedi to a negotiating table. Felix Tshisekedi has been dragging his feet. He doesn't want to negotiate with M23. You guys remember Corneille Nangaa was the guy who was in charge of elections. The elections that brought Felix Tshisekedi into power. Corneille Nangaa is saying Felix Tshisekedi is an illegitimate president. So he's not a guy from Rwanda, contrary to the politics of Felix Tshisekedi. He's a Congolese guy. But he's against Felix Tshisekedi. That's what is happening. So peace talks are going to take place between M23 and the government of Felix Tshisekedi in Angola on March 18. So let's see if Felix Tshisekedi will show up. When we look at Felix Tshisekedi, the guy is really feeble because all his foreign partners have not been able to change their action on the ground. He's losing in the east. He's losing big time. South Africa is withdrawing its forces. South Africa has been having a lot of losses in this war. Rwanda has sent in over 4,000 strong soldiers, and they are making their path. They are taking over the country. Now, Angola is suing for a ceasefire. Is it going to take place on March 18? It remains to be seen. But we see women singing poetry of peace. It looks like whenever you are in war, poetry becomes a soothing balm. We feel sorry for these women and children who cry. Then they express their sorrow in poetry. Okay? Poetics. Okay? That's what we see in Congo DRC. But there's something else that we see in Congo DRC. We are getting news that Donald Trump's government is about to make a deal with the Felix Tshisekedi government. Felix Tshisekedi, America is saying, I want to take all this your coltan, all this your minerals. They should come to America. In return, I will support you. I will support you against your enemies, Rwanda. But you have to get rid of China. Instead of China coming to Congo DRC and benefiting from these minerals, America has to win. America has to win and take over these minerals. That's a proposition from the United States. And it looks like Felix Tshisekedi, as weak as he is, he has accepted. He doesn't mind selling his country if he can stay in power. And that's the tragedy of Africans. Their leaders are gullible, they want to stay in power. So he cannot win this war. He's weak. His army is weak. So he's looking at America like a rescue mission. America wants to come and rescue him. So what's going to happen? Well, it remains to be seen. We are watching. So there's so much war and war in Africa. Ethiopia, Tigray region, there's war. Nigeria, there's insecurity. In Nigeria today, we hear the Biafran guys, Biafran militants, stormed the Bakassi area and they killed some of Biya's forces. Remember, the Nigerian Biafran guys are not like Amazonians. They have a lot of weapons. And they use that creek. They know how to navigate that creek very well. So the soldiers from Cameroon are of no match to those Nigerian Biafran guys. They slaughter them like animals. So it's very, very sad when I see what is happening. But the big news in Africa today has to do with South Africa.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland, Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
South Africa received bad news from Donald Trump. Donald Trump has decided to fire the South African ambassador in Washington. His name is Ibrahim Rasool. The news is big. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of the U.S., has given the South African ambassador 72 hours to leave the country. He has been declared persona non grata, as we say it in Latin. Persona non grata is an unwelcome person. In diplomatic circles, when they describe you as persona non grata, it means the country doesn't want you in its territory, so you have to leave. So you lose all your immunity, diplomatic immunity, all your protection. So Ibrahim has to leave. Why is Donald Trump asking him to leave? Well, Donald Trump has been having some issues with the government of Cyril Ramaphosa because the government of Cyril Ramaphosa for so long has been trying to correct a lot of racial injustices that happened during the apartheid days. The white minority in South Africa is just like 7% of the population, but they control over 95% of the land in that country. How can this be? So the South African government wants to correct this problem. Because Trump is not happy with this new legislation that was signed by Cyril Ramaphosa to reappropriate some of the land from the white guys to black South Africans, Trump even wants to invite most of these South African near farmers to the United States. They can come to America. I think the South African government will be happy for these people to leave so that Africans can live in peace. So South Africa has been dealing with a lot of pressure from the Trump administration. First, Trump cut aid to South Africa. Next, they've fired the ambassador. They've asked him to leave the United States and return home. And Elon Musk is in the mix of all what is happening. Elon Musk is saying that because South Africa cannot let him sell sterling in South Africa because he's not black. Isn't this interesting for somebody who left South Africa, became the richest man in America, and is making the life of a lot of people hell? Well, that's the sad part. The people are dealing with Elon Musk nonsense. But as we deal with this nonsense, we have a video of Ronald Reagan, which we're going to share with you. Ronald Reagan talks about tariffs, why he came to Washington and promoted free trade, why he came to Washington and promoted capitalism. Where are the days of jingo capitalism, free capitalism, capitalism with unfettered access, a free market? Where has this gone? That's the problem we are facing in the world today. America should be leading the world as the biggest capitalist country. Yet, America is seen as a tariff nation. Tariffs are not good. And now we hear that America wants to resettle Palestinians in Sudan, Somaliland, or Somalia. Why? Is that capitalism? No. This is the wrong type of capitalism. But we hear Sudan does not like it, Somalia does not like it, Somaliland does not like it. Yet, Israel and Trump are bent on carrying out this action. So it remains to be seen the way the world will react. Will they let Trump do this, or will there be resistance? It remains to be seen. For the show of today, we are asking you to watch us, then share this video with your friends. We leave by letting you watch the video of Ronald Reagan, Ronald Wilson Reagan, a popular American president. He's positive about the nonsensical use of tariffs. He thinks tariffs have a demerit. They should not exist in America, but they are existing. So watch President Ronald Reagan. Bye-bye.
You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.